Okay, so what's going on? The company behind Claude, which I hope everybody knows by now, recently revealed something rather remarkable. They're saying now that AI is writing the majority of code merged into their own systems. Think about that for a second. The engineers that build one of the world's most advanced AI models are increasingly relying on AI to help write the software that powers future versions of itself. 5 years ago, that would have sounded impossible. Today, it's becoming quite normal. Developer use of AI-written code went from effectively zero in 2010, which was essentially like autocomplete only, to about 70% in 2023, about 76% in 2024, 84% in 2025, and AI is now authoring roughly 40 to 60% of all actual code being committed. And the agentic tools like Claude Code and Cursor are the fastest growing slice in 2026. So let me clearly state what Anthropic is saying. They are not claiming that AI is becoming self-aware. They're not saying that it can now independently improve themselves without human interaction. What they're saying is we're entering a new phase, a phase where AI becomes the major contributor of future AI development. That's what's concerning, and that's what they're saying to slow down. And that's also where things get really interesting. So let me just run you through this process, how it basically works. Humans build an AI model A, right? Whatever software example you want to give. That model A helps researchers create model B. Model B then is now smarter than A, B helps create C, and so on. Each generation is now becoming more capable than its last, and typically each generation is also using more assisted versions of itself. So essentially, AI is writing more and more of the code on its own with less and less human interaction. Each generation contributes more to a successor. This concept isn't new. It's called recursive self-improvement. For decades, it's basically been a theory discussed by researchers, but now experts believe that they're seeing the earliest stages of it happening in the real world right now. Not because AI is acting independently, but because AI is becoming a force multiplier for the people building with it. This is why Anthropic is calling for something rather unusual. They want the industry to establish mechanisms that could slow or pause development if AI capabilities begin advancing too quickly. Think of it as more like an emergency brake, not because a disaster is guaranteed, but because nobody wants to build a brake for a car system when the car's already out of control, right? Their concern isn't today, their concern is tomorrow. If future systems become dramatically more capable at coding, research, scientific discovery, and autonomous work, progress could be accelerating faster than society could ever adapt to. That's the danger. And history gives us very few examples of technologies evolving at this speed. So the other side of the argument, and this is where I lean, because like I said, I am programming. I'm building a few different applications right now. And critics will argue that AI systems are still making tons of mistakes. They still hallucinate. They still require tons of human oversight. I promise you this is true. If I told you how much time that I kicked myself for relying on Claude Code or Cursor to do something that I absolutely could have done myself if I just took the time to code it rather than arguing with this AI, it's a real problem. They still can't run businesses independently, and from this perspective, warnings about AI improving themselves are kind of overblown, if not hilarious, because if you think about the trends, they could actually make themselves worse. Some even argue that major AI labs benefit from regulation because it creates a barrier from competitors, and that's a fair criticism. The truth is, no one knows exactly where this leads. The future remains uncertain, and that's, again, why it's a warning. But uncertainty doesn't make the trends less important. So here's the part that most people are missing. The story isn't about whether AI becomes conscious or if Cyberdyne is going to take over the world like in Terminator. The story is, however, about speed. And if AI can help write software, if it can help conduct research, if it can help design products and help automate entire workflows, and when breakthroughs start accelerating breakthroughs, everything changes. Companies change, jobs change, entire industries change. The organizations that learn to leverage AI effectively could become dramatically more productive than the ones that don't. We know this. That gap is growing every single year. So whether Anthropic is right or wrong about these risks and about the warnings and pulling the brakes now, their warnings point to something undeniable. AI is no longer just a tool people use, it's becoming a tool that helps create better tools. That's the concern. And that may be one of the most important technology shifts in human history. The question isn't whether about AI can change the future. The question is how quickly that future arrives. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more AI business and technology insights, because the biggest changes happening in the world aren't coming in the next decade. They're happening right now. Thanks for watching.